let me firstly introduce the Mauritius Sugar Syndicate. We have a commercial arm of the sugar industry in Mauritius. So we are the ones selling all sugars produced in Mauritius. And I can tell you from our own experience, we have been selling into the Chinese market for the last 10 years now, mainly the high value specialty sugars. And what we have observed, unfortunately, despite there seems to be good demand for the specialty sugars, but there have been certain administrative constraints, whereby we have not managed to sell more than 800 to 1,000 tons annually into a market which represents consumption of sugar or something like 15 million tons. So really 1,000 tons is nothing at all. So the problem we have been facing is import licenses are quite restrictive, and very often our buyers were not having access to import licenses, firstly. And secondly, the import duty, sugar I should say is a very sensitive product, even in China, whereby the duty, the normal duty being 50%, but they sought a derogation from a WTO a couple of years back, whereby the duty was increased to 95%, whereby the sales of our sugar, which is already highly priced, became virtually prohibitive. Hence, with this new agreement, firstly, it gives us that quota, starting from 15,000 tons in the first year, going to increase gradually to 50,000 tons over the next 8 years. So first of all, we have a predictability that every year we're going to have so much quota, so much sugar that we'll be able to export. And secondly, there is that question of tariff. So obviously, with a 15% tariff, which has been agreed, we should be able to be more competitive on the Chinese market, hence hopefully attain our sales objective of 50,000 tons over the years. Mauritius, we are well known for the specialty sugars. What I mean by specialty sugars, they are high value added, unrefined sugar for direct consumption. So they appeal to health conscious consumers, people looking for something natural, wholesome. So not only for retail, but for catering trade, for coffee shops, hotels, restaurants, or even industrial usage. I can tell you, for instance, in China, we are already supplying to one bakery, producing cookies for Subway coffee chain being supplied throughout China. This is just one example of it. So obviously, with this know-how that we've had over the years, our strategy, especially that things are, we are more and more exposed to a volatile market environment, our strategy, industry-wise, is to focus more on the high-value special sugars. Today, traditionally, we've been producing 60,000 tons. That was before the sugar protocol, during the sugar protocol time, but we increased to 120,000 tons of special sugars, and we have a new target set to reach 180,000 tons over the next few years. So obviously, with this new free trade agreement, it should pave the way to increase access into a market, first of all, where you have an increasing purchasing power, the middle class, it has increasing purchasing power. And secondly, what we realize as well is there's a changing consumer trend in China. I'll just give you an example. Over the last 15 to 20 years, you just look at the number of coffee shops mushrooming in China compared to traditionally when being used mostly to drinking Chinese tea. So obviously, when we talk about coffee, you have sugar, especially when special sugar coming along. So we are pretty convinced that there are good opportunities, and this is what we have seen already. As I said, we have been exporting for the last 10 years. We are already, I've told you about this bakery supplying to Subway. We are already present for our buyer in China in certain retail market segments, more of an upmarket. We are present in many coffee shops already, but they are having the sugar next to the coffee being sold. And it's just a question of, as I said again, being competitive and with a predictability, so we can invest more now in getting the sugar known to the Chinese population at large. So we are quite confident that with this FTA, that should help us to move along, as I mentioned, our sales objective.